How you doing, everybody? And it's your girl Nubian Empress Ashe, and welcome to
Make it make sense.
Make It Make Sense. Yes, I know we are in the age of nothing makes sense anymore. I mean, it never did, if you ask the ancestors, but we won't get into that right here. We have some Crown Nubian merch. Ashe, give you a closer glimpse. Yes, that's the Emperor. Period. And of course, the Empress. Ooh, Ashe, purdy, purdy. So yes, now to business. Does it make sense to you? Now, I don't know if anybody really pay attention. So I told you before the United States was found guilty of genocide of the black and brown indigenous people. Ashe? Yes. And since then, there hasn't been a big announcement. So that means nothing has been done. Cool. That happened in 2022 in a court here in New York City. I spoke to someone who was actually in the building that day, which is so convenient. 2022 is the same year that my building had a fire, 333 Bronx fire, 333 Earth Angel. Feel me? And during this time, that's when they was going back to forth, and I back and forth to court, which I mean the Kamala Harris, the Joe Biden, you know. And I know y'all like, oh, we either gotta pick either Biden or Trump. I mean Biden, Trump or Kamala, and there's so many other choices out here. And the fact that we have been controlled into believing that there's no other great choices is beyond me. Like we have a whole independent party, conservative party that we can choose from, but we choose not to look at. Why? Because we have been conditioned to where the Democrats and the Republicans run the House. And I'm trying to figure out how the fuck is that possible when that's not even their house to begin with. Not only that, this is the ancestors' land, Ashe, and I'm here to tell you that the ancestors are not with it no more. Right? They're pissed off and they're over the fact that they're promoting the Bible in such a way where it's to exile them out. How we got here is through the ancestors, right? And in order to keep them alive, we must give them our praise and our acknowledgement. And doing things like celebrating Christmas and other things of that nature is not going to help us. I say that like, okay, forget the sentimental value that we put on it or that they forced us to put on it. Like it is nothing but a gimmick, right? While we every month is a holiday, we spending our hard-earned money while you're being elves to serve your children at the end of the day while you serving them throughout the whole entire year. It's crazy to me. But not only that, the money that we're spending, whatever the case might be, they're sending off to other countries and giving us doo doo, literally. And this is a whole dictatorship. Like this, the school to prison pipeline is a big key factor in it, right? And everything is connected. There's always a domino effect to in some way, shape, form, or fashion. For instance, the doctrine. Like I said, the United States was found guilty of the genocide of the black and brown indigenous people. How many? There only the largest amount of black and Latino people died during COVID. Before that, the crime rate was down, right? Everything is a domino effect, everything. And there has to be. If we go through history like how we supposed to, we know that there always is a big pandemic or plandemic that happens every 10 or whatever umpteen years to decide how many people are going to live on or die. Like depending on how good your genetics are and good how strong you are mentally, we can withstand the test of time, right? I'm tired of bullies, right? There's a lady named Christina Dejan that's been going against Trump since 2020, and she has gotten no acknowledgement. Now I'm saying we have the power to do something, right? Even though it's at the very end, how we feel, it's never too late. Christina Dejan is a dope woman. I'm gonna put a picture of her right here. Period. I had a conversation with her. I even put it on video, but being that we was at the parade and the beats, the what's her name was so loud you couldn't really hear her, but she had me in tears because it's like, she's been attacked because she wants better for her country and she's a black woman, super dope. And we never get the chance to do that. I mean, do you know how peaceful a world could be if women ran it? Like literally we give birth to the world. Not all women are motherly, but the majority of them are, right? We all operate on both masculine and feminine energy, and depending on which side you operate more in is the better you can add to a team. Ashe. Um, yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired of, shit being blatant and y'all still like overlooking it. And I'm just like, yo, I know they don't teach common sense in school, but it needs to be common. Like the actual English language is taught for us to speak against ourselves. So, although most people might be educated and feel like that's something to rejoice, like what are we celebrating really when we graduate? Because it's either or jail that you will be placed in, the prison, actual prison, or the work prison. And either way, you gonna work your ass to the bone. And even when the tax dollars come, that means most of that shit you was working for free. So they taking that money right back for you. Let's not mention that the birth certificate and the social security number is a credit card for them. So wherever you may give that to, that's where they're banking out of, because we all have trust funds. Little do we know, and they just have control of it, and they're basically paying us when we work or do whatever out of our trust funds. So this is money that's already ours, and they're making us pay it back so that when we die, they have control over it, and they get up to 33 million or more based off of how many schools you went to of theirs and how many times you used your birth certificate and social, and you passed and got all your doctorants and whatever else education they wanted to teach you in order to ultimately sabotage the world. This ginger tea is lit. Actual ginger. Make sure you get you a Crown Nubian mug. Ashe, like this is super dope. I am not finished with it. This is the prototype, but I also make it for my left-handed people. Period. I know that there's some out there them get into the males logo. Period. Emperor. So yeah, I gotta be super transparent always, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just tired of, us looking at these people on TV and wanting to be like them, but they're not helping at all, not even a little bit. Like, I get as horny as the next person. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a little pervert in my head, but there's but so much sucking and fucking that I can hear about on a daily basis, especially since I'm not getting none. Even before that, like, really, like, there's so much shit going on, and y'all worry about whatever. And, to be honest, we like to talk about the olden days, and men and women like to play each other. Like, we all are one, right? The reason why Granny was so fine with having her multiple kids and staying in that marriage long, probably her man was freaking abusive or doing what he did while she did what she did. DNA testing wasn't something of significance around that time, right? So everybody got what they got and kept it quiet. Period. I think my grandfather was a product of that, and they hated on him because he was a light skinned red with freckles. But anyway, yeah, we gotta start paying attention. Like, either way is going to be a dictatorship. Do y'all know the ghetto is the slums of a Jewish community? Like, the things that they got planned for us is out of this world, but it's more of us than it is them. And I'm talking about elites all over, right? Until we become one and fight whatever forces that's against us. Listen, we give birth to Christmas. You got to really think of it that way. This is how I can break it down to you. Like, Christmas would not exist if we wouldn't give it that much light, right? They all come up with an idea. It's up to us to go with it or go against it. Now, I know people may look at me because I like to go against shit, but it's time that we start doing that. Or else we gonna get ran the fuck over. The only way that country will run is if we work it, we work for it. That's the only way it moves. And if we stop, then shit stop. Period. We gotta let them know who's boss. They work for us. We don't work for them. Stop paying MTA. Everybody take off your license plate and all that at the same time. Run through their shit. Make sure they get no shmoney. That part. Are you down? Are you tough enough? Sending you peace, love, and light vibrations. I fucking love you. I got faith. Period. Make it make sense.